The Army is doing a PR push involving integrating women into the front lines in combat roles. And while they're doing that, they had this internal memo where they specified the exact type of woman they want representing women in the military or in the Army. So according to the memo that was sent out, they specified that they wanted less attractive women because they had more credibility in the Army. Let me give you the exact wording. In general, ugly women are perceived as competent, while pretty women are perceived as having used their looks to get ahead.
Wow, that's fascinating, man.
Yes. Now, we'll comment on whether or not we believe that's true, but let me give you more of it. They also wrote, there is a general tendency to select nice-looking women when we select a photo to go with an article, where the article does not reference a specific person. It might behoove us to select more average-looking women for our communication strategy.
You know, so it's actually a female colonel that wrote that, which then makes me really wonder what she looks like. Right? And I'm not sure that she's put it in a very savvy way. I mean, she wrote behooved in there, so that was nice.
Yeah,
that was
but
a nice touch.
You shouldn't say ugly women are perceived as competent. I think that there are plenty of pretty women that are perceived as competent. But I will say this, there are negative perceptions of attractive women. And the negative perception is, oh, she's attractive, therefore she must be dumb. You know, oftentimes we'll get that on the show where we'll have smart women on the program and people will be like, oh my God, she's really hot and she's smart. Like, wow, that's so rare.
How did that happen?
Right. And so I think that that misconception definitely exists. And for a woman who's more attractive, she has to go out of her way to prove herself, intellectually speaking. But in this case, her wording wasn't right. And it made me feel a little sick to my stomach. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And look, some men have to deal with it too. I mean, people are always asking me, Cenk, how do you have such a good body and at the same time...
I regret it.
All right, fair enough. All right, so what's your sense here? Even if she's putting it in politely in the wrong way and it's a bad idea to have that out there, is she onto something?
Here's what I would want to do. If you want to publicize women in these combat roles, why don't you use actual women that are in the military, actual women that are in the Army, and why don't you just throw out any commentary about the way she looks? If you're concerned about women that are actually doing the dirty work and they're getting in there and they're getting their hands dirty, then use the women that are doing all of that stuff. Why are you needlessly making this sexual?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
Just tell me about the dirty work a little bit.
I think that there's just too much emphasis on the way that the woman looks as opposed to what the woman actually does in the military.
Yeah. No, I know, but she's doing communication strategy, right? So she's saying, look, you're sending out subliminal messages, and the one we need to send out is competence rather than attractiveness. I don't even know if that's true in terms of recruiting, because if there's like hot women in the picture, maybe more guys will want to sign up. I don't know. So and you say use actual women in the military, but there are gorgeous women in the military, and there are less attractive women. So you got to make a choice.
So why don't we push back against those stereotypes instead of just, accepting them and caving into them? Because if we cave into those stereotypes, they'll continue. Nothing will ever change.
I agree with you. So she's wrong. Let's put hot women in the pictures again. Am I not merciful? That's what we were driving at, right?
That's exactly what we're driving at, Cenk.
If you're in a line of business, modeling, whatever, et cetera, and you need to use attractive people, media, I understand that's part of the business, et cetera. Nobody's going to gripe with that. Here, it's a kind of a weird situation. It's our government, our military, putting the kidding aside, right? And even if you thought it was more effective, I'm not sure that's the way you should go, right? I think that it's probably more important to send out the message that you care about everybody equally. I mean, you're protecting America, which is that's idea, right? And so I would care more about that than I would about trying to judge whether a woman is attractive or not attractive and what you're going to put into the materials. I mean, you're not a private corporation. You're not L'Oreal. So bring it down, and remember your core mission. Was that better?
That was much better.
Thank you.